Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Perspective. We'll be talking about the Prime Minister's visit to Riyadh to attend the World Economic Forum, and a little later on, of course, Gaza's meeting and the global collaboration. With respect to that, what can we expect as far as this meeting is concerned, the kind of headway it is targeted to make, of course, and as far as the Prime Minister's visit to Riyadh is concerned, of course, the focus remains on investment. It remains on trying to have trade collaboration as far as supply chain structuring is concerned, sustainable growth is concerned, evolving energy landscape is concerned, all of those things with respect to that bilateral meetings that the Prime Minister has had and the bilateral discussions with Saudi leadership, all of that today on Perspective. I have with me Naveed Aman, who's a political analyst. Thank you for being with us today. We also have with us Agha Iqrar Haroon, who is a senior analyst. Thank you for joining us. And Javed Jadoon, who's a senior journalist. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm going to start with you, Agha Sahab. We know that this government remains focused on economy. It remains focused on trying to increase the inflow of trade, investment. With respect to that, how do you look at this economic forum, and also the visit itself? I think it's the third visit of the Prime Minister to Saudi Arabia. How do you look at it?
Yes, within a very short span of time, yes. The Prime Minister is again in Saudi Arabia, yes, to participate in that economic forum. And the economy has always been very important for any country. Particularly Pakistan's economy needs to have more and more attention of the governments, not only the governments, but also it is the prime responsibility of opposition parties as well to keep their concern and to keep their attention on the restoration of the economic matters of Pakistan. Right. As far as the economic efforts of this government is concerned, in very short span of time, the Prime Minister with his cabinet has been very active diplomatically or politically on different forums and negotiating with different head of the states and the governments. Especially Pakistan government is focusing on the potential of Saudi Arabia, right, in Pakistan. So Saudi Arabia has already categorically decided to invest in Pakistan, and in the last visit of led by the Saudi delegate foreign minister to Pakistan, Pakistan has offered $32 billion projects to Saudi investors, and they were very happy and convinced on the prospects and the opportunities which Pakistan government has offered to them. And in that visit, $5 billion projects were already signed, and the both of the countries were agreed on. So I think the government and Prime Minister himself very concerned to boost at least the economy of Pakistan to that level where Pakistan should not feel any stress or pressure from within.
Right. Let me go to Agha Sahab on this. Agha Sahab, can you hear me?
If I am not wrong, if you asked my name earlier also when I started talking.
No, I was just introducing you as a guest in the program.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You have seen the Prime Minister is very focused. He has a very wonderful 2 meetings today. He met with the managing director of the IMF, and then he also met the president of the Islamic Bank. So he knows business, and Shehbaz's speed is known all over the world, particularly in China. So he's focused, and he would definitely try to extract maximum from this meeting because first of all, we should appreciate and we should congratulate rather the Asia. This is the first ever meeting in Asia, and this is in Saudi Arabia. This is another, you can say, a very pragmatic and promising development because the Islamic world is something very important that the World Economic Forum is being taken place over there. So as mentioned my friend also already, Pakistan is totally focusing SIFC, and for SIFC, our target market is of course the Middle East first, the China and the rest of the world. So he's meeting with the IMF, with the Islamic Bank, and then of course with this Saudi the Prince and other Middle Eastern, you can say, head of states who are there. They would definitely bring something tangible to Pakistan, and that is the immediate need of Pakistan. We need hard cash. That is our problem.
Okay. And you think that, Javed Sahab, I'm going to include you, you think that this will be, we are of course going to look at this optimistically and realistically speaking. The Saudis have come to our aid more than once if we look back at our relationship with Saudi Arabia. The World Economic Forum generally, of course, it's also been being attended by other important, United States US Secretary Blinken is there, there's Prime Minister of Qatar, Oman, Bahrain, Palestine, Kuwait, heads of state there. In that sense, the interaction and also, in terms of our geostrategic position, our geopolitical, other neighbors at this time, our relationship with them, all of that will also come under discussion in your opinion?
Yes, thank you very much, Mahrukh. I think while we were talking about this issue, just saw the headline that Prime Minister met with the IMF chief in Saudi Arabia, an important meeting and at a very critical juncture where Pakistan is looking forward to initiate another program with the IMF, and the longer one and the stable one probably ranging between $6 to $8 billion. I think, as you said, very important occasion for the Prime Minister being at the World Economic Forum, because it provides you the opportunity to interact with government and the business leaders, and you can project Pakistan's different sectors of the economy. And in particular, it is an important platform to attract direct foreign investment as well, because Pakistan does need that right now. Pakistan is looking towards every opportunity where Pakistan could attract investment in various sectors of Pakistan's economy. Having said that, since we have myriads of problems, our economy definitely is faced with quite serious challenges, balance of payment issue, and the foreign debt payment as well. As far as the foreign debts are concerned, about $120 billion is a very, very daunting and a very gigantic figure if you look at it. And Pakistan has to pay back about $20 billion in the current financial year as well. Pakistan is hopeful to arrange whatever is needed through the IMF and through external financing as well, including reaching out some friendly countries like United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, as you rightly pointed out, and China as well, and Qatar as well. So I believe Pakistan will be out of the woods, but it is going to take some time. Pakistan has to introduce some short-term, medium-term, and long-term reforms as well. Particularly the loss-making entities like PIA and Steel Mill, they have to be offloaded, and this is what IMF is demanding as well. The balance of payment issue, and also
these decisions, like you are talking about, I mean, including, like you said, offloading. I mean, these are, of course, the white elephants have been an issue for a while now. It's not just now. I mean, this is something that Pakistan faces for a while. You think that, and invariably, let me come back to you. I'll include Naveed Sahab in this also. Naveed Sahab, there is, of course, a certain amount of political capital which becomes an issue for all political parties when you talk about making these tough decisions. We do have the Council of Common Interest, the CIFC, and there is facilitation, there is cooperation, all stakeholders are on one page with regard to this. Do you think we are closer to making those tough decisions than perhaps ever before?
Oh, definitely, Mahrukh. I think the Prime Minister is very committed, and as far as the cooperation of the armed forces is concerned, yes, the Army Chief is very concerned about the uplift of the economy, and SIFC is formed to just have coordination between the political parties, political leaders, and the institutions as well. I think both the institutions and the political party, the government. When I talk about the political party, it means the government. All are very concerned about the uplift of the economy, and what is the need of the time is that the cooperation of opposition parties is very important in this regard. Opposition has a very pivotal role in the carrying out the momentum of the economy of the country. So rather to go in the streets and raise hue and cry unnecessarily.
Do you think we are coming closer to that? Because there is talk at this time about a dialogue. If we look at politics generally, we look at the main political parties, we look at the opposition. Do you think that we are coming closer to that dialogue, which will then make it easier for everyone to have their own opinion and to be taken on board with regard to these tough decisions?
Mahrukh, I don't think the PTI will cooperate as far as the dialogues are concerned. They want to talk to the armed forces or to ISI. It is not the mandate of armed forces and ISI to have dialogues with political parties and especially to have dialogues with oppositions. Opposition leader or PTI Supremo will have to talk to the political parties, the government. If you want to resolve the issues of economy, the issues of PTI itself, or issues of the Supremo, you will have to talk to the government parties. I mean, this way you can find out the way. Otherwise, you cannot find out the way.
Agha Sahab, do you think that, would you agree with what Naveed Sahab is saying, or do you think that we are closer to making those decisions at this time? We are closer to having perhaps more, headway within, getting our own house in order with regard to making those tough decisions, which, are an invariable consequence of going back to IMF, which we have to do anyway.
Mahrukh, when you talk about the PTI, I have a very firm belief, and I may be wrong and may be right. PTI would never sit with government for any important issue. But if you talk about the Pakistan Steel Mills and PIA, forget the PTI, even the government may face problem within its, you can say, its allies. Because steel mills and PIA both are very much linked with the politics of Sindh. One, both the urban Sindh as well as the rural Sindh. And, political capital of MQM is very much in steel mill, and political capital of Pakistan People's Party is very much in the PIA. So these are, though, as mentioned by Jadoon Saab, they are very, you can say, very critical organization. We have to sell them out. But the problem lies with the political side. However, I believe that government would not consider any, you can say, a political pressure, because government cannot consider, as we mentioned already, we have some commitment with the IMF, and we have to decide the fate of steel mills as well as Pakistan Airlines. So things would be little difficult, but not too much difficult or not impossible. It only needs a decision making, and the decision regarding PIA has already been taken and it is already in process. But steel mill will be another very important issue.
Agha Sahab, you don't think that this talk of dialogue is in the background of the upcoming IMF agreement?
There are possibilities. There are possibilities.
But you think that it's unlikely that the opposition will sit with the government, regardless of how beneficial, how essential, how important it is for the country at this time to make those decisions. And these are those decisions. I'm going to include Javed Sahab in this also, which were, by the way, pending when this was, the government. BTI was leading the government. So it's not these white elephants or these things that have to be let go. Do you think issues worthy of politics, Javed Sahab?
Yes, I agree with you, Mahrukh. It is not an issue which has just sprung up. It is a very long-standing issue. For example, we need consolidation as far as the fiscal space is concerned. It was as bad as it was during PTI government. And we do know that about 400 billion rupees budget deficit, it is rising with every passing year. It hasn't accumulated in the recent past. And as far as the tax base is concerned, 5.2 million tax base is not sufficient enough out of a population of 240 million people of Pakistan, though of course the FBR is trying to set new targets. And there's also a very important and very serious issue of 2.6 trillion rupees circular debt. Mahrukh, it has been accumulating over the time period, and ultimately it has reached a very serious proportion, 2.6 trillion right now as it stands, as far as the circular debt is concerned. So the issues of the fiscal space and the consolidation, etc., and even creating a new tax base, bringing in the real estate and the retail and agriculture as well under the tax net. These have been pending issues. I totally agree with you that even the past governments, though they tried and half-heartedly tried and never succeeded. So, but ultimately the onus lies on this government because IMF is definitely
true
demanding.
That historically speaking, I'm just, when we look at the landscape, we look back, I think it's important to circumspect on, how we've been in the past also, regardless of which government is at the helm of affairs now. The question is, as a rule, there are issues that should be beyond politics, and I think the CIFC also, the Facilitation Council, is that body which was made or promulgated to ensure that there would be those economic decisions that have to be taken will be taken speedily.
Mahrukh, if you look at the political landscape, been never very rosy as far as Pakistan is concerned. Unfortunately, I'm saying it is a kind of a jinxed country as far as the political imbroglio is concerned. Politicians, when they're in power, they say something else, while in opposition, they have got a very different story to tell. I agree with you that it is about time that the government and the opposition should sit together and they should talk about certain issues. For example, to how to revive the economy. The government has to stay there unless the government is ousted through a no confidence vote. Otherwise, it's a legal, lawful government, and Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf must consider talking to the sitting government. Even when you talk about whether they want to talk with the establishment, there are, I think, very differing opinions coming from the party itself. Different leaders are issuing different statements. It's a founding person, the former prime minister, is in jail, and those, the second and the third tier leadership, they're very confused. We have seen a lot of fissures even within the party itself. There is not a single cohesive voice which could speak on behalf of the party or behalf of the former chairman. So I think it's a very fluid situation. You look at media one day, you get to hear very different stories, and then the next day, a different set of leaders, they talk about different strategies, whether to talk with the establishment or not. But I think ultimately, Mahrukh, I strongly believe that negotiations would be the only way out of this very serious mess which Pakistan finds itself right now, because without political stability and without economic stability, Pakistan really can't progress. But as far as economic revival is concerned, it definitely hinges on political stability. So it's very important for the government as well to engage the opposition somehow or the other. Though I've seen certain very sane voices coming from the ruling party itself, Pakistan Muslim League, and even recently their leader, one of their leaders, was talking about Siddiqui Saab in the Senate as well. It was very heartening to know that he talked very positively, and many other leaders, in Rana Saab as well. So I think it should be responded, reciprocated in the same coin, because there is nothing impossible in politics, as they say. Politics is, those a very cliched statement, but of course, politics is art of possible. So at the end of the day, the leadership from both sides, or rather the three sides, Pakistan People's Party, Pakistan Muslim League and Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, they will have to sit. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but day after tomorrow, a time will come, they will realize that they have, all the parties have stakes in Pakistan's security, economic and otherwise as well. So I believe the sooner the better. The more they delay the process of negotiating, the more I think Pakistan's perils will increase, Mahrukh.
Let me go to Naveed Saab with this. Naveed Saab, coming back to the forum, one of the things that Shahbaz Sharif Saab said is that, the Prime Minister said, is that we should be benefiting from Riyadh's reform policies to modernize governance structures in Pakistan. Governance structures in Pakistan, this is an issue that's come up again from time to time. And Riyadh is a classic example of how, it's been done. Do you think that, this kind of collaboration will be maybe a quicker, a result of this economic forum?
Yes, definitely, Mahrukh. We have many other classic examples for us as well around Pakistan. China is a successful economy. Yes, Saudi is a successful economy. As far as the model is concerned, yes, Saudi model is a classic example for Pakistan. And Pakistan need to follow all those successful models wherever or in which country they are. They are perfectly successful. So Pakistan need to also translate all these models in Pakistan and follow all those lines which guarantee the success of any country or success of any country's economy. So during the last 10 years in particular, Saudi has made gigantic progress in the country, and the vision of MPS as far as the new developments are concerned or new technology introduction of the new technologies is concerned. I mean, he has given an example for the entire world. So he is impressed by the model of UAE. UAE has been making enormous progress in every field, and the vision of MPS is wonderful. You can take the example of the city of Neom. That is a city which is bigger than 21 times bigger than New York, and is the focus of the entire world. So the investment from the entire world is coming in the city of Neom. So on the same model, Pakistan's Gwadar and different other cities, Lahore and Karachi, or in the north, we can have the same example. We can translate the same examples in Pakistan to go ahead.
Right, fair enough. We also, one of the main focus areas is going to be Gaza, of course, and the situation as far as Palestine is concerned. What do you expect there? Do you think there's going to be, let me go to Agha Sahab on this. Agha Sahab, we've been talking about the situation in Palestine for a while. There is by and large agreement on this. But, do you think it's going to, this is one of those points of, it's on the agenda, it's also extremely important. Do you expect there to be a unified kind of stance coming on this issue also?
I doubt that World Economic Forum would discuss Gaza in detail because of the several reasons. And definitely the president of, you can say, a Palestinian Authority would already raised this issue. He's there, but majority of the country would avoid to take this issue in limelight in World Economic Forum. This is my understanding. I may be wrong. And you was talking about.
There's also the upcoming Islamic Summit conference, which the Prime Minister is going to be a part of.
Definitely. In that Islamic conference, Gaza would be, the top agenda, but World Economic Forum, I doubt. And you was just mentioning and talking about the reforms, structural reforms, and the administrative issues. Look, the examples which have been mentioned by a friend, he is absolutely right. We have different models, and so the UAE, particularly UAE model and the China model in front of us. But remember, these all countries are run by experts. In Pakistani administrative system, the IMF, the World Bank, and other all lending organizations had been indicating this issue. The Pakistan is run by generalized, generalist administration. So until unless we go with this journal with the G, not the J, the journalist administration is not changed, or you can say the country is not taken away from their hands. You cannot go for any reforms. The world is run by experts. If there is a, for example, IT ministry, there are experts. If you talk about the finance ministry, world over, there are experts. Whatever the ministry you name, world over, particularly UAE, everybody is expert. They are PhDs. They are, you can say, practitioners who are ruling these ministries. In Pakistan, we have a journalist. A person can be the head of the Ministry of Science and Technology today, and tomorrow maybe he is looking after the health. So these are the issues. IMF and particularly World Bank, they are indicating this issue for the last at least 20 years. But we have not changed our system. So until and unless we go for expert kind of administration, the problem would definitely be here.
Your comments on this? You think we need a specialized,
The world is run by specialized people. I mean, you just see the list of some, the top people in UAE. A majority of them are the PhDs and PhD in their own subjects. I'm not talking about the administration. I'm talking about the political side of them.
But isn't it true, Agha Sahab, that there have been times, I'm going to, Javed Sahab, you're welcome to include your input. I want to include your input on this also. But isn't it true that there have been times when we've had experts or specialists, so to speak, and that hasn't always worked for Pakistan also. So there, and when you do have somebody at top tier who's more general in that regard, general being the word that you used, you can always have specialists in the team, and that is perhaps, another working model, I'm just saying.
Yes, Mahrukh, I think we need to have this kind of a combination. I think it does make sense that we do not have the experts included in the teams negotiating with the international monetary organizations like IMF and the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank. We've got a very typical structure of bureaucracy, and bureaucracy is definitely not expert in the matters related to economy. They can manage their own ministries administratively, but negotiating with a very specialized team like the IMF, you need to have people on your team who are experts in the relevant fields and who could negotiate very hard conditions as well. And ultimately, they do conclude an agreement, which is the kind of the agreement which is mutually beneficial.
At this time, we are the finance minister is an expert, and of course he's from the field.
Definitely. But there are several other areas. For example, energy. He's a banker, basically, and primarily. He is not an economist. You need to have somebody who is an expert in energy, and somebody who is an economist of repute. And there's somebody who is expert on privatization as well. Because we are talking about privatizing two very important national institutions like PIA and Pakistan Steel as well. So do we have somebody who does have the expertise in the fields of privatization as well? Because engaging the international parties and telling them, look, it's a profitable business, because nobody is going to come for these sick institutions like PI and Pakistan Steel unless and until they find some opportunities in these areas. If they invest, they must be looking for some kind of a profit to take back home. Otherwise, I think it's a very simple phenomenon. If you don't feel that there's a profitability, why should any international concern should come forward and invest in these sick institutions we have not been able to manage in the last several decades? So
I think, thank you so much, Javed Saab. Thank you for your input. Agha Iqrar Saab, thank you for joining us today. But I feel that, Naveed Saab, I think there's no dearth of experts in Pakistan. And there have been, times when we've had experts come in and offer their opinion. And of course, if a team, whoever is leading the team cannot be an expert of everything. So it has to be an amalgam of, experts along with those, and perhaps a more general person at the helm.
Definitely. In all fields, we need experts. In particular, in finance department, in Pakistani finance department, Pakistan has always been taking the services of the experts of economy. But now, this time, Aurangzeb Saab is a different experiment. He has no that big background of any political party. So he has just joined the government. He is very much optimistic and enthusiastic. He is hopeful that he can make comforts for the economy and create more and more ways to boost the economic that crunch, which is to minimize that economic crunch and boost the economic level in Pakistan. So I think the finance minister is doing a lot. He is also the part of that delegation which is now present in Riyadh at the moment. And he should be given maximum space to deliver. And I think 5 years is a long time for him to form a long-term strategy, 5-year strategy for economy.
Naveed sir, when we talk about what's happening as far as economy is concerned, there is by and large too much pressure. I mean, these are decisions like you yourself said, and earlier on we were having, there's a by and large agreement that have been pending for a long time. And for this pressure, for them to happen very quickly is perhaps an unrealistic pressure, no?
It is, but now the entire responsibility is of the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister to steer the ship of the economy of Pakistan to the safe harbors, and both are very much committed and both are very much concerned. And within the last couple of months, Prime Minister has engaged Saudi Arabia. He has travelled Saudi Arabia twice, and the Saudi delegation has come to Pakistan, and now the official visit of MBS is due in the next month. So I think the investment from Saudi Arabia will boost the economic activity in Pakistan, and followed by the economic investment from China, UAE, and Turkey, and other Qatar as well. So there will be a big investment in Pakistan within the next 6 months.
The investment flow, you're saying, is likely to increase, and it has to be, we just need a kickstart in that.
Definitely, and one thing which is very important is the step of the Prime Minister which he has taken as far as the Department of FBR is concerned. He has removed 13 top bureaucrats who were involved in some sort of corruption levels or different malpractices. It is a very, very good indication or good message to all the bureaucrats to order their work, to pay attention towards their duties, and serve the country and the nation as far as the future of Pakistan or the future of this country is concerned.
And also, when we look at, again, this, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming, the Islamic Summit also, the Islamic Summit Conference also. Do you think that, this is going to follow the World Economic Forum? It's going to be the 15th session, and also it's going to be a conference focusing on unity and solidarity, also sustainable development through dialogue. So that a follow-up as, from the World Economic Forum is also going to talk about issues that the Islamic countries face together. You think that's also, a great initiative? It's something the Prime Minister, his attendance, of course, and Pakistan's input, and of course our importance as far as our geostrategic position is concerned. It's going to make a lot of difference there, what we say. Do you agree with that?
Yes, Mahrukh. The two objectives are very important as far as the summit is concerned. Number one is their regional issues, or Gaza or Palestine issue is one of the most important issues, or Kashmir issue. Such issues are very important to be discussed and to be taken to that level where we can find the solution of the issues amicably. Number one. Number two is the boost of the economy of different countries. The Muslim world or the Muslim countries are facing economic issues. Particularly if we talk about Pakistan or Palestine or some other Muslim countries where prime attention should be paid as far as the economic matters are concerned. And the agendas of the summit should be encircled around economy, uplift of economy of different countries, and the multilateral agreements of different countries and investment of different countries, so that the stakes of different countries should be involved in different other countries, and it will really strengthen the ties of different countries involving different impacts.
What about Javed Sahab? I know, Naveed Sahab, I know that this is also, an economic essentially, of course, and this is an economic forum, and then we are also going to go for an Islamic summit conference. But our situation as far as a hostile neighbor is concerned, overall, our geostrategic position, it's something that I think will, do you think that that's, and the fact that we need maximum benefit with regard to influx of investment, influx of trade, to be able to, perhaps come to power with our other neighbors at this time. I think that also is something that is going to be of discussion at this time.
Mahrukh, definitely. As far as when we talk about the hostile nations around Pakistan, if we want to meet that level to combat the economic pressures, we will have to uplift our economy first of all, and on Islamic Summit Conference level, Pakistan will have to give that idea of economic uplift of Pakistan and the other countries as well. And the economy of the hostile nations around Pakistan is, getting strength. And Pakistan need not to sit idle and pull up the socks and, move ahead to boost the economic activities as far as the foreign investment is concerned. And the maximum, the Chinese investment, the Saudi investment, the UAE investment, Qatar investment, and American investment as well is very important for Pakistan. Pakistan has very strong ties with China and Middle Eastern countries.
And we are not mutually exclusive in that regard. Of course, we will of course look at our own interests, and we have a good relationship with the US also.
Definitely. So, we need not to focus on the tensions of tensions with any other country. Pakistan is very much concerned to have more focus on economy now.
Fair enough. And also, this is a huge meeting in the sense that it is in Riyadh. 1,000 leaders from 92 countries are attending.
It's a very good opportunity for Pakistan or Pakistani leaders to go
to stress our cause,
definitely,
also, and overall to explain what we offer,
and to win more and more investment in Pakistan, because Prime Minister, the Foreign Minister, the Finance Minister, all are there. And it is good opportunity for them to translate all that investment, which is very much possible.
Right.
And extend more and more facilities, and extend more and more.
And allay the concerns overall, if any, of coming here, of course, and ensuring that we offer a secure environment.
Security is very important.
Security is very important to Pakistan, and to ensure that Pakistan remains quite cognizant of its own, security, of offering the best kind of climate for.
We will have to assure them that Pakistan is very much a safe country for investment, and we will have to provide security or other facilities to the investors, foreign investors, and they should be, feeling comfortable at home, like at home.
Right, fair enough. Unfortunately, that's all the time that we have. Thank you so much for joining us today. Naveed Aman Saab, thank you for being with us. Javed Jadoon, thank you for joining us today. Agha Iqrar Haroon, thank you for being with us today. Overall, of course, the World Economic Forum is a huge initiative. It's like I said, 1,000 leaders from 92 countries are attending, with the Prime Minister, a team at this time, a delegation at this time, which is there, and primary focus, of course, is going to be investment, trade, outlining the opportunities and what Pakistan offers to the world in terms of the kind of feasible climate it offers as far as trade is concerned, as far as economy, investment is concerned, the kind of investment that we need to at this time deal with the challenges at play, and we hope that of course we will see tangible results from this meeting, from the interaction with different leaders of the Prime Minister and his delegation. Thank you so much for joining us today on Perspective.